Hi guys, Corporal6 here, and we're going to do an update on the new vehicles in Season 5. As you'll be aware by now, Season 5 adds in the Vehicle Modification Kit as an item that allows you to upgrade certain cars from their base models into Battlecars, complete with unique abilities, and we're going to take a closer look at each. Firstly, the most important thing to note is that there are no changes to the existing base vehicles from Season 4. This means that without the Vehicle Modification Kit, the SUV, Mini SUV, car, convertible, pickup truck, police car and tuk-tuk all remain the same. So what of the new cars? Well, we now have the addition of the ATV and the Armoured Truck, so let's take a look at them in a quick damage test of their base model and see where they fit in. We're approaching the testing in exactly the same way as we did in the last video, so that everything remains fair and comparable. ATV first. Right away we can see that the ATV is comparable to the 4x4 SUV in terms of its shape and capacity, however it's quite an open vehicle and so offers little protection for occupants. Health-wise, it fits in alongside the Mini SUV and the car. It seems to be true to its name and handles very well off-road. Armoured Truck next, and this thing is a class into itself. Occupants are fully protected as you drive around, but it has two major drawbacks. It's rare to find, and it's the slowest vehicle in the game. In terms of health, it ranks alongside the pickup and the 4x4 SUV. Here you can see the complete collection of unmodified cars. So far so good, but what about the battle cars? Let's find some vehicle modification kits. I'm going to run through these fairly quickly as you've seen the process by now, so here we go. And here are the battle car results. Overall, it's as you expect in terms of the order of the cars. Each of them receives a health boost in relation to its base. At the bottom of the list, we have the car and the mini SUV. No surprises there, and they gain about 650 HP as battle cars. In terms of battle car abilities, the car has a cloaking device that gives it a Predator-esque invisibility cloak. Any damage to the car or any action by an occupant cancels the effect. Honestly, it's a bit weak as the car is still very audible, but I can see it being useful in certain situations such as the end zone. The mini SUV has a recon radar which works in the same way as the end zone radar pings. You get 3 pings within a short range once it's activated. It's pretty useful if you're driving into a potential hot zone and want to know if it's safe to disembark. Next comes the ATV, gaining about 1000 extra HP once modified. It also gains some sick rocket boosters that accelerate the car to silly speeds. Great for escaping an area, rushing into the zone at the last minute, or, as some posts on the internet have shown, taking more creative routes. Thanks to Broman Loves Crepo for posting this to Reddit. It also works as a cheeky little self-righting mechanism should you end up stuck. Next up we have the SUV 4x4 and pickup truck. These both have the same health once the modification kit is applied, about 800 HP more than their base versions. The pickup truck gains an explosive barrel launcher, lots of fun and very powerful if you get it right, but surprisingly difficult to aim. The launcher also adds some much needed cover for rear occupants, so it becomes more useful as a standalone vehicle too. The SUV turns into the pulverizer, getting some gnarly blades on the front that damage players and cars in front of it. Difficult to find a use for this one personally, as you're not often in a ramming situation with another vehicle, and, as these tests against bots have shown, it's actually quite difficult to damage a person and you're better off just running them down normally. And finally, the Armoured Truck. Where does this fit in once it's been modified? Unfortunately, right in alongside the SUV and pickup. It has the same health as them, which is disappointing due to its low speed. It does gain a driver-operated turret, but it is woefully inaccurate and way too underpowered to be of any real use. The turret does about 50 damage per hit, meaning it takes over 40 rounds to destroy a basic car, and it overheats way too quickly. For this vehicle to be worth using, and given its rarity, it needs a real buff in speed, armour and turret accuracy. Finally, here's a view of how everything looks once we have all the vehicles mapped out together. One thing to note is that it seems with the introduction of the new cars, there are fewer spawns of the unmodifiable cars now. The tuk-tuk, police car and convertible seem to have become much harder to find, as I assume the devs have rebalanced the spawns in favour of cars that can be upgraded. And lastly, a note on the RPG. Following some testing, I've determined that the damage a direct RPG hit does on a vehicle is about 1300 hit points. This means against the weakest vehicle in the game, you still need 2 direct hits, and against the toughest you need 3, and it only comes with 2 rounds. As such, it just doesn't seem all that viable to carry an RPG as a solo player, and as a squad you maybe only want one of them in the team, as the others can use regular gunfire very effectively. I find it more useful for flushing out enemies similar to a grenade, or for blowing doors off buildings to get extra angles on occupants, rather than as a direct assault on a vehicle. And annoyingly, how does a direct hit with an RPG on a player not kill them? If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And as always, please let me know if there's anything you'd like me to include in the next video. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss future installments. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.